fun. Okay, so when we have a vector, a column vector is something that looks like this. What is the top number represent, Anaya? The 3.
It represents going 3 to the right. Oh.
Yeah, the x component of the vector. How much you're going right by. Now, if it's positive, you're going right, and if it's negative, you're going
left.
Left. Similarly, the bottom number represents which component?
Up or down? Oh.
Up or down. That's right, up or down. If it's positive, you're moving up. If it's negative, you're moving down. So now we have AB. Now AB is basically telling you what you're going to do. That's your intention, A to B. The vector A to B. That's like that's, I would say, a general form of describing it. And then we have a more specific and more clear way of describing, which is a bold printed A. Now we don't have it's difficult for us to kind of do bold print amongst all our normal other print. So what we tend to do, we have to use an underline. When you want to represent a vector, the vector will have for us a line underneath it to indicate that A represents the vector A. In the booklet, in your printed work, in your exam paper, they will not use the underlining format. They will use which format? What will they use?
Bold.
Bold print. So if you can see there, the A is darker. So bold. So for example, if you look over here, you see M here. Is this the same darkness as the R?
No.
No, it's more. So it's been made bold. Like it's with a heavy black ink. So that's how they print vectors, and that's how they do it in exam paper. They will not use the lines. Because it's more difficult for us to do that, we use the other format, which is we do with the dash underneath it. Are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. So if you look at the vector A to B, that means you're starting at A, we're going to B. That's what that means. It has its own unique name called vector A, bold A, or in our case, the A with the underline. So 3, 2 means we're going 3 to the right and 2 up. So that's a very basic way of kind of representing a column vector. And the column vector meaning is in a column format. Like you have Nelson's column, which is Nelson standing on top of like a long column. That's what it means, something that's vertical. Okay, here we go. Let's do example number 1. It says draw the vector m minus 3, 2. What does the minus 3 mean, first of all?
It means 3 to the left.
3 to the left. And what does 2 mean?
2 up.
2 up. So we're going to start somewhere. So we're starting here in this example. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left. And then from there, we're going to go 2 up. And we get to there. So there's our start. There's the end. And the vector has a name M. I'm just going to put the dash underneath to show that, okay, I've done it. So it's M dash. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, now, so exercise number 1. So this is the very basics of vectors. They want us to draw them. And then they want us to read them. So that's our exercise. Our exercise for the first part is drawing the vectors. And then we need to read the vectors and change them back into column vectors. So we've got both activities. So for the first one, Anaya, 1, 4. Now, I don't know whether you've been sent some. Okay, let's just actually do a bit of cutty pasty. Okay, copy and paste. Okay, so let's do 1 or 2 questions together, me and you, Anaya, and then we can let the class loose on the rest of the questions. So let's have a go for me and you. This question here and this one here. 1, 4. So if I had to draw if you had to draw the vector 1, 4, how would we go about drawing the vector 1, 4? Where would we start? So if I was to say I'm going to start here. So what does it mean? What do I do?
You first go 1 to the right, then 4 up.
And then what do we do with those 2 points?
Then you join them. And then you write A and underline it.
Fantastic, lovely. You've just drawn it fantastically correct. Lovely. Let's do C now together. That's A. What about C? So we're going to go for -2 means that we're going right or left?
Left.
Left by 2. And 4 means up or down?
Up.
Up. So we need to start the question, I would say around about here. So I'm going to go from here this way or that way?
Left.
Left. How many?
2.
Everybody else, please be doing this in your books at the same time. 2 across. Oops. Let's go boom, 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 boom. And then how many? Where do we go now?
4 up.
4 up. Okay, have I done 4 or 3? Is that 4 up there? Yeah, that's up there. Okay, lovely. So then we put a point there. We join them up with a straight line. Yeah, I have to do that because the software straightens up for me. Okay, and we can draw this on there. We can draw an open arrow, close arrow. And what do I label this now?
C, with line underneath.
Okay, now actually, to tell you the truth, they've just asked us to draw them without, they haven't actually got a label. That's actually question C. So for question C, I mean, we could say, we could make it ourselves. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. But if you were to do the question properly originally, you would have no labeling on it. But for the sake of argument, let's call them A, B, and C properly. Okay, so I'm going to label this as you said. I'm going to label the C with the dash underneath it, and that's those 2 beautifully done. Are we happy with that?
Yep.
Okay, dokie, right. So now it's time for classwork questions. Okay, so we've done. Okay. Okay, so those are the questions that I need everybody to have a go at. And we're going to get the timer, and we're going to put a couple of minutes on the timer. Okay, so everybody have a go at those questions, draw them properly, on square paper that you printed out, or square paper that you have of your own. I'll give you 2-3 minutes. Just going to pause the recording for a second while you guys have a go. Recording. So that's the first one. That's E. Now B is going to be 3 and 5. So if I start here, it'll be 3 along, and then it'll be 5 up, which will be up here. So that one was E, and that one will be B. Okay, now remember, this part of the drawing actually it's really should be, you can put that in dotted or really light. That's not part of the answer. The answer is actually what we got actually drawn right now. So if I was going to do G -3 -3, so I'm going to move back by 3 and then down by 3. So my vector is going to look like this. Okay. Okay, that'll do. All right. And that one we're going to call it G. So we're going to have 3 backwards and 3 downwards. And that part we can later on rub off. And there's the answer. The answer, that is the answer. Okay, now, Anaya, how did you do D for me?
I just did a straight line, more or less. Like aside from 0, I just did a dot. And because you don't move across, I just did 5 up.
That's right. It's 0. It is for that one. Hang on a second. It's 0 across and 5 up. Pardon me. That's going to be. You done the line straight up?
Yeah.
Was your line horizontal or vertical?
Vertical.
Okay, good. You got 0 along there, and you got 5 up. So you're going to draw a line, literally 5, and that's going to be called vector D. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Absolutely lovely. Good. So if you have a 0 in any of the coordinates, then I mean that particular one, you don't go across, you just go straight up. And that's it. That's an example. That's enough good examples there. Okay, the next part of the is writing down the column vectors represented by the arrows. So we have A. So what would A be, Anaya? So you got 1, 2, 3. It looks like it finishes here, like that. So what would the vector be for A?
5 over 0.
Okay, count them carefully. It's not 5.
4 over.
Yeah, that's right. The vector A would be 4, 0 with no division sign between them. Good. What about B?
-1 of -1.
It will be -1, -1. Excellent. Okay, and what about F? No, not F, C.
-2.
Okay, don't forget you're going in the positive 2 now.
+2.
And then?
And +6. I think.
Okay, so everybody have a go at those questions, please, for me. Try not to do them on the sheet. Do them in your book so then you can redo them for homework. Do that now, please. And then when you finish, E will be -1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -4, -1. That's the vector E. F will be across by 2 and up by 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So F will be 2 across and up by 3.5. Okay, P is going to be all the way across here and up by 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So P is going to be 9 across and it's going to be 1 up. Okay, lovely. Mark off the answers so far, please. So we've got A is done, B is done, E, F, P, D is done, C is done as well, 2, 6. G is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 4 cross backwards. So it'll be -4, -3 is G. S is going to be 1, 2 backwards. And then down by 1, 2, 3. R is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forward. And then it's going to come down by 1, 2, 3.5. So you can't get decimal answers. That should be minus. H is going to go from here, going to go 1, 2 backwards. And up by 2, +2. H equals. Q equals. It'll be going across by 2, positive. And then down by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -6. Double check my answers, make sure there's no mistakes in there. If you find any mistakes, let me know, I'll correct them. Check your answers off and give me a mark back from all these. So we've got all the way from A to R, S to S. So you need to give me a mark for each person, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, it seems to be out of 12. Is icon? Some of them missing. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. There's no I, there's no J, and there's no K. Okay, Eliza, you have to look at the arrows. The arrows is the most important thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you don't look at the arrows, then we're not doing vectors anymore. Okay, Eliza, it's that important. The arrow makes the vector. It tells you the direction, because that's what vectors have. Vectors have a size and a direction. Otherwise, it could be the same numbers, but we don't know whether they're positive or negative. So that's very, very important. So that's good that you realize you haven't looked at it, but make sure you don't make that mistake for homework. So next we have Asadullah 10, Anaya 10 out of 12. Good, Anaya, well done. Abdullah 6 out of 9. Working a bit slowly, Abdullah. We could do a bit more, yeah. Come on, you should smash these questions with the hammer. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now, not only can we, for example, what we've done so far. Let's have a quick recap. We know how to set up a vector in column format, how to draw the vector. So exercise number 1, we got the column vector, we had to draw it. So for exercise 1, which we done, which was down here. So we're drawing the vectors, then, whoops. And then what we had to do was to read the vector. So they drew the vector for us. They drew the vectors for us, and we had to read off what the vector was by taking careful consideration of which direction the arrow is, and that will help us get all the positive x's and the negative y's, or whichever order they're in. Okay, so we know how to represent a vector, how to read a vector. Here comes the next part of this exercise. Is now we can multiply the vectors as well. So example number 2, Anaya, come back in, please. Okay, read from example number 2.
If P equals 2 minus 3, write the following as a column vectors: A, 2P, B, half P, C minus P.
Okay, so what does 2P mean?
2 times by P.
Like the way you do normal algebra, Anaya. You know, when you do normal algebra, 2P means 2 lots of P. It means the same in vectors as well. So 2P means double of P. So if P had an original value of 2 and minus 3, so what we're doing to him now, we are multiplying each of the x and the y values by
2.
By the multiply, by the 2, absolutely. 2 times by 2 is?
4.
2 times by minus 3 is?
Minus 3. Minus 6.
Minus 6, okay? Lovely. Now, how would we do half a P then? So the P vector is still 2 and minus 3.
1.
Now we're multiplying it by what? A half each time. Half time by 2 is 1, tick. Half time by minus 3 is minus 1.5. So what would minus P be then? It will be minus 1 time by P. There's an invisible minus 1 there, invisible, which I'm writing over here. Here it is.
Minus 2.
And
3.
Lovely. Okay. So they got some big questions there. Question number 3. If Q equals minus 1, 3, find and draw the following. Exactly. We don't need to draw them for now. We just need to do find the vectors. Find the vector, yeah? Find what 3Q, 5Q, 3.5Q, minus 2Q. Okay, so I want everybody to have a go at that question for me, please. This one here. I'm going to put on 2 minutes on the timer. Off you go. Okay, question 4A. Sorry, the question we're doing is question 3. It says 3Q. Let's have Abdullah. What does 3Q mean?
3 times minus 1 and 3 times 3.
Which gives us what as an answer?
Minus 3 and 9.
Fantastic. What does 5Q mean? Let's have Asadullah.
You do 5 times minus 1. And
Which is?
3. Minus 5 over 15.
Fantastic. Lovely. Next one, Anaya. What does 3 halves Q mean? Anaya? You've muted at the moment. You need to unmute yourself.
3 halves times by minus 1 and 3.
So that gives you what? Minus 3 halves?
Minus 3 halves.
And then what happens when you do 3 halves times by 3?
9 over 2, which is.
Just leave that. That's fine. Okay, lovely. Eliza, next one's yours.
You do minus 2 times minus 1 and minus 2 times 3, which is 2 minus 6.
So minus 2 times by minus 1, that'll give you plus 2
Yeah,
on the top. And then you have minus 2 times by 3, that'll give us
minus 6.
fantastic, equal in there. Lovely. Fantastic. So far, we've know how to draw a vector, a column vector, read the column vector, and multiply column vector. What do you think comes next, Eliza?
Adding and subtracting.
Lovely. So they got, for example, here the vectors P and Q and R. They want to do P plus Q, R minus Q, 2Q plus P minus R. Let's go through it. So what does P plus Q mean?
You've got to substitute that. So you've got to do 3 add minus 2, and then 1 add 0.
I mean, they're written in that particular way. You can write it in the original format as 2 separate vectors added together. So you got you're doing the question like this. You're doing 3 add minus 2, and the answer goes up there. And then you're doing 1 add 0, and the answer goes over here. So come on, give me the answer then for that question. So what's 3 add minus 2?
1.
And what's 1 add nothing?
1.
Lovely. Okay, now the next one says R minus Q. Okay, let's have Asadullah. Can you explain to us what R minus Q is? R is 1, 3.
Yeah.
And Q is minus 2, 0. So so first of all, let's do it color coded. So I'm gonna go 1 take away minus 2. What's 1 take away minus 2?
3.
1 take away minus 2 is 3. Why is it 3?
Because the minus make a positive.
Fantastic. 2 minuses physically next to each other become positive. Remember, it's that way around. You have minus 3 minus nothing is
Minus 3.
finished, done. And that'll be, let me quickly put the color coding on. I've missed it out. Yeah, that'll go there. And that other green color coding will go on the top. Lovely. Okay, that's enough examples of that. I think it's time for you guys to have a go at some of the questions now. So exercise 2, they got some basic vectors without letters next to it. I want you to add them and stuff. So we can pick a couple of those. We can pick a couple of those. Then it gives you the information over here. And they want you to use that to work out the question. So we can have a go at a couple of those. And then they give you this other information here. And they want you to work out some questions. Okay, done. So them are the questions I would like you to try right now. I'll pause the video. I'll give you 4 minutes on the timer. Off you go. Resume recording. So we're looking at the magnitude of vectors. Magnitude of a vector is represented by putting bars on the either side of the vector. For example, the magnitude of P. And we have the P being represented here. We have its X components and its Y components. To work out the magnitude of P, we have to do the square root of X squared add Y squared, like the way we do Pythagoras theorem to work out the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse will be here, the magnitude of P. Okay, so you were looking at this example, Anaya. So I've got the question Q there right in front of you. It says find the magnitude of Q. So Q, so what do we do with that then? Q equals, give me the formula first of all.
Root X squared plus Y squared.
So what is X squared and what's Y squared from here? What is it from there?
3 and minus 4.
So 3 squared add minus 4 squared. Okay. So 3, 4. So what will that give us? If you put that into the calculator, give me one moment. Give me one moment while I just quickly pause. So the question I've just done over here, if you, rather than doing 3 squared add minus 4 squared, you could have done it an alternative method as 3 squared add 4 squared, and that would have given you the identical answer. Okay, so that's a little bit of a trick. Okay, but yes, you should practice it properly into the calculator as I've done on the side, as you can see there. And off you go, you've got those questions to do. And I'm gonna give you 3 minutes on the timer, off you go. Anybody gets stuck, please ask for help. So the magnitude. Now, if you want to show so there's your vector 6, 8. You want to work out the magnitude of it. Then we jump on the calculator. 6 squared, add 8 squared is equal to 10. Okay, magnitude is the length. Now, because we're doing stuff on grid paper and we're not exactly given values, it's a centimeter grid paper or whatever, this is probably one of the circumstances where we don't put a unit next to a length. So the number 10 is the length, is the size of the vector, but we just say it's 10. We don't say it's 10 centimeters or 10 meters and stuff in this particular instance for when we're doing magnitude of vectors. We just have a numerical value. Okay, Asadullah has already given me the answer for A. Oh, sorry, is that Eliza? Okay, D actually, Eliza, excellent, well done. As you do the answers, please pop them into the chat, please, so I can see them. Okay, so who's supposed to be in this class? Eliza. Yeah. Slu's not here. Maybe I tell you what, after this lesson, I'll change up the lesson, I'll change it to video lesson, and then go up and the list. And leave them aside and then leave them. And just I don't want to go back. Go over there. I don't know how long what you're saying. You're going. 6, 5. Okay, right. Have I got some answers coming through? Okay, right. Exercise 1, questions A, F, G. Okay, let's have a look. Exercise, which exercise 1, 28.2. Exercise. Okay, folks, check your answers in here. Okay, the answers are in this section here. Quickly mark your answers according to the question numbers, please. Okay. Has everybody marked the work? Okay, Elijah's got 4 out of 6. Not bad start. MashaAllah, Abdullah got 6 out of 6. Okay, what about Asadullah? Asadullah, did you get them all right?
Sir, I texted you, yeah.
Okay, you guys can't say something. Okay, lovely. So, right, Anaya, are we happy with the work at the magnitude?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So now tell me what we've done today so far with vectors. Number 1, what did we do first?
We did was multiplication. Oh, drawing,
So we had to draw the vector. Number 2, then
reading,
reading the vector, and then
multiplication,
multiplication of the vector, and then
subtraction and addition.
okay, and what's the thing we just done now?
Magnitude.
The magnitude. Okay, are we happy with all those elements?
Yeah.
Are they all making sense? Yeah, this is the introduction of our vectors topic. Now we're going to be moving on to the vectors questions that we get when we're doing like examination papers. Okay, are we ready? Right, for that, I think we're going to have to jump into the next worksheet. Okay, I think what we might do is actually stop that video there.